dear viewers of all demographics, we are here back again with Bracket Breakdown, and we have read the discussions, the comments. We are introducing an entirely new dimension into this discussion, a third game, and all of these have a lot of reason to be here. This might as well be one of the final rounds. Super Mario Galaxy facing off against Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess, facing off against Super Paper Mario. Which one will it be? Discussing today are the people with the only correct opinions in the room: Pat Nat, Tom Peeler, Mr. Dean, and Shrimper Lake. Someone take it away.
Well, it was nice seeing Twilight Princess and Paper Mario once again, but let's be real here. Why don't we just spend a nice chunk of time talking about how they never had a chance against Mario Galaxy?
Yeah, honestly, this is a waste of my time. Like, I don't even know why we're entertaining the thought of Super Mario Galaxy not moving on right now.
Andrew, I might need your help with this one. Mm-hmm. We might need to team up a little bit here.
Yeah, I think so.
And maybe at least explaining that this is not a very cut and dry discussion. Yeah. Other than the fact that Super Paper Mario got its wiggles out, had its fun, I think it's time to put it to bed and let the adults talk, right? Are we at least all in agreement that Super Paper Mario is the weak link of the three?
Paper Mario is only in this round because it won a mid-off between New Super Mario Brothers and itself. Okay, so Paper Mario, good job advancing. I'm all for talking about Twilight Princess if you want to.
Okay.
I might be crazy for this, but Galaxy is my least favorite out of the three.
Okay, this is unbelievable. What is happening right now? This is unreal. Okay, so first of all, we're like, Super Paper Mario is the weak link out of the three, as if Twilight Princess is some like magnum opus or something. Like, what?
I wouldn't say Twilight Princess is a magnum opus, but Twilight Princess at least excels at certain things. Well, there's just nothing Super Paper Mario excels at. It is like the definition of like C plus B minus.
I just could not disagree less. I think Super Paper Mario excels in the story. Like, they both I agree, Twilight Princess excels at something. So does Super Paper Mario. Either way, those are both irrelevant. Super Mario Galaxy is leagues better than both, so I don't care.
I'm going to get on Mr. Dean's side here real quick, and this should be noteworthy because of how many times he's wanted to almost kill me during previous rounds. Super Paper Mario could have been on any Nintendo platform before or after. Its Wii abilities, almost non-existent. The 3D plane switch, nothing about it actually has anything to do with the Wiimote. Great story, great characters, really charming. That's the bar for Paper Mario games. Twilight Princess, where it at least stands above, is that it was not exclusively developed for the Wii, but the way it incorporates the Wiimote's gimmicks and abilities into, bow and arrow shooting, fishing, other conditional items within Twilight Princess, it hit. And being the launch title, like alongside Wii Sports and other games, but being the thing that gave you the first impression of the Wii, it's a good case for why Twilight Princess got this far.
Okay, let me reword myself. I'm not trying to discredit Twilight Princess for making it to the second
We're all
round.
coming in a little hot.
I'm just saying Super Mario Galaxy is just like better. I don't know.
Okay. So we've had a little bit of time to think on this one, right? We've had opportunities in our own minds. This is honestly the most difficult one for me out of all the ones that we've done so far, and I envision the hardest one going forward just because I feel so strongly about both Twilight Princess and Super Paper Mario, no, I'm just kidding, and Mario Galaxy, because it's the classic like Mario versus Zelda debate. Super Mario World versus Link to the Past, Ocarina of Time versus Mario 64, Sunshine versus Wind Waker, Odyssey versus Breath of the Wild. This is a discussion that's been done time and time again, and I've always felt like it's kind of come down to whether or not you just prefer the Zelda formula or the Mario formula, because I think both Twilight Princess and Mario Galaxy struggle a lot in their own respective styles of play, and they struggle in almost slightly different reasons. I honestly think Super Mario Galaxy's biggest struggle is just being a 3D platformer that's not fun to explore in. It has tons of planets that are connected to each other and you go level to level, but at no point do you feel like you're actually exploring. It's almost an on-rail 3D platformer, which to me feels like a marathon half run, right? While Twilight Princess, you have to herd rams, and that's a big part of the beginning of the game. You do it like twice, and that's just emblematic of all of these random small things that you need to do in Twilight Princess that extend stuff. What I want to say to Twilight Princess's credit is that all of the moments of slowdown in the game are very much directly aiding both the narrative and character interactions with other people, to the point where they're not filler. It's not pointless things added to the game. It's just probably not executed in the perfect way. When you take those moments away from the game, you're left with some of the best Zelda has to offer. When you're talking about some of the best dungeons, some of the best items, the game just feeling more like a longer adventure, you can have all of that even without of the more sluggish moments, the stuff that gets me super frustrated. And when I pick up and I play Twilight Princess, I finish it every single time. I pick it up and then I beat it. I've never actually beaten Super Mario Galaxy. And it's not because it's a bad game. I feel like I have my fill after the first couple levels, and the beginning is really strong, so I just restart it all the time, right?
Okay.
I've restarted it several times. But
Quickly, by a show of hands, how many people here have beaten Twilight Princess? And how many people here have beaten Mario Galaxy?
I'm so sorry to interrupt the show here, Spotters, but did you know that we actually have a giveaway?
Do we have a giveaway?
Well, it's good that you know, because it's a Wii remote, specifically one with an exclusive Bracket Breakdown vinyl skin on top of it. What?
No way. I love the GameCube.
You can actually enter the giveaway by checking the pinned comment in the description, and you can get an entry once per episode. So make sure you're constantly checking that pinned comment each Bracket Breakdown episode. Enjoy the show, gamers.
I'll try.
I just want to talk on one of the points that Pat brought up.
Yeah.
He said that Galaxy kind of feels like a typical linear 3D platformer. I've heard that complaint about both Galaxy 2, 3D World, that stretch of 3D Mario games. And here's the thing, the appeal of Galaxy doesn't come from the same sense of appeal that 64 and Sunshine had. The thing that makes Galaxy special, aside from the cinematic scope of its presentation, aside from the bombastic soundtrack that accompany the levels, is the incredibly innovative way the controls and the levels were designed. Coming off of the Super Mario 128 tech demo, where Nintendo kind of showed off the idea of Mario running around on a spherical-esque object, the thought of playing a full game where you're literally walking around on spherical planetoids sounds like it would be horrible.
But it works great.
Exactly. And so that's the biggest reason why I have so much respect and reverence for Galaxy, is the fact that
I agree.
it feels so good to control. It's one of
Unless
my
you're
biggest...
on a ball.
Okay,
unless
yeah,
you're
except
swimming,
for... Okay,
unless you're on the dolphin
I
track,
disagree with that. The swimming
blowing
controls,
bubbles.
the swimming controls in Galaxy are 20 times better than Sunshine in 64. It was a massive step up.
They are. And here's the thing, the dynamic gravity-based platforming and movement, I think, would probably get really out of hand, or maybe even awful, if you were in an open sandbox playground. I like that they took these very unique and intricate ways of moving around and put them on curated courses that, as the game goes on, they get more intricate, more difficult. The new abilities that get added have new sense of purpose that allow your movement to go even further and beyond, whether you have the ability to seamlessly anti-gravity ice skate with the freezing flower, or you have the spring hat that you have to start timing your jumps and your positioning with the gravity sections very clearly.
You get to be a bee.
You get to be a bee. And I don't like bees in real life, so the fact that I'm sticking up for bees in this game, that's gotta be something.
And
I want to hear from
being a
Shrimper. I want to hear
Plinko.
from Shrimper Lake more, because
Right.
Shrimper Lake came in
Shrimper,
definitively saying, Galaxy, no.
Yeah, I know Twilight Princess isn't gonna win, but I will go down with the ship. I don't know, I just like it. I don't really have any super special reasons. I just think it's really cool, and Galaxy never really hooked me that much.
Why isn't Twilight Princess gonna win in your eyes?
Well, you guys really like Galaxy. No one's voting Super Paper Mario.
Wait, I feel so bad now. Oh my...
No. Listen,
I
the
don't.
thing
I
is,
Are we seeing a possible sympathy card being played?
Wait,
First
no,
time
no,
ever.
okay.
No, we're not.
No, I'm not saying I'm gonna vote for it because Shrimper said that, but what I'm saying, he brought up a valid point. Me and Pat were kind of talking about this before recording too, and that's why is it that we like certain games. And like Pat said at the beginning of this, Galaxy and Twilight Princess are two very different games, and I think that what Shrimper said is interesting because he just likes Twilight Princess and doesn't like Galaxy. And at the end of the day, there's nothing wrong with that.
Oh, there's
I
not.
think-
There's not.
I-
But But there can only be only one.
The thing that makes Twilight Princess, I think, resonate to Andrew and I and other people like us is how powerful the legend of this Legend of Zelda is. The moments of this game, things like Midna getting sick and you need to revive her, Zelda giving up her life for Midna to save her, Zant coming in and stealing the Forsaken Pieces or whatever they're called, learning that Midna's from this desolate Twilight world, all of those like moments that really makes you just feel in the game, right? And other Zeldas have made you feel, but to feel in such a grand narrative, it's not just like Link's problem. Link is a fly on the wall and learning about Hyrule's big problem and helping them through it. It's like that feels something, right? The feelings I have when I play Super Mario Galaxy is like, this orchestral music is amazing. I love how they made Bowser feel like a very menacing cinematographic villain, like that all that external feel that's there. But when I actually play through it, it's like it's I'm going on random objects, collecting random things with random items. I don't have a deep connection with the content of the game itself.
Have you not read Rosalina's storybook?
I have read Rosalina's story.
I was gonna say,
that's
that's what's
beautiful.
gonna count
confession.
too.
It's
I've got a
beautiful.
confession. I don't
Rosalina's-
really care for Rosalina. I just don't really care. I think she's a step
Rosalina's
above Peach
storybook-
and Daisy.
brother.
but,
Rosalina's
like,
storybook is more emotionally effective than anything Midna's got. I'm gonna throw that down there.
Okay, I don't know. I don't know about that, but I'm just saying, like,
I mean it.
Tom, as co-creator of Action Lines, if you were to take Twilight Princess into your 3-act structure screenplay analysis, I think you would genuinely be surprised by just how narrative-driven and well-executed story beats are in Twilight Princess. It really is a moving experience from beginning to end. And yes, you do have to herd rams, and that sucks. But it is for the sake of building a connection with the random NPCs before Link's literally like ripped out of his own universe to be put onto an adventure. The fact that the villains have backstories and they have motives and they have wants and needs, it's more than what we've been able to see in a lot of other Zelda games. Some even compare it to like Skyward Sword, because Skyward Sword has a lot of tangible moments for its main characters, but not NPCs. It's all isolated up in the skies and there's no connection between the different civilizations. Twilight Princess has that. The world is so connected together, and I've never been more disappointed with a 3D platformer where I'm not connected to the world. For me, that takes away the soul of a 3D platform. And I think that's why I've never felt the need to explore the ends of the galaxy of Super Mario Galaxy.
I respect that. I respect that. But the thing is, Zelda has an advantage in that it's always going to come to the table with at least a attempted strong narrative, where Mario Mario has flavor text, or Mario will have like small narrative propulsion, but it will never reach the level that Zelda has. But I respect where you're coming from. The last at-bat I will take is I just want to make a simple statement about tone. When I think back to Twilight Princess, or anytime I try to re-engage with Twilight Princess, it bums me the hell out, because it just takes me back to that post 9/11, the Dark Knight, era of everything's got to be brown and gray and grimdark. Like, that's not what made me fall in love with Zelda when I played Ocarina of Time for the first time, and that's not what carries me through my favorite Zeldas. And so I very rarely go back to it, just because mood-wise, I can't engage with it as easily. But I turn on Mario Galaxy at any point, it is pure joy. The movement, as you said, the score, the Lumas, who are so cute. I want to be friends with all the Lumas. I want to go on adventures with Captain Toad and Rosalina and my best friend Mario. It's a tone thing. I don't want to hang out with Twilight Princess, but Mario, I'll go over his house any day of the week.
It doesn't help that Twilight Princess puts Vaseline over the screen anytime they're in the Twilight realm too. So they do a lot of this tonally dark stuff that actually masks the really good art direction that's in the game, but it shoots itself in the foot by making everything darker tone. So I completely agree with that point.
I feel like we've also gone a little bit off track here, because the argument that you've presented is which game has the better story. And of course, Twilight Princess has the better story, but that's not the
It's
appeal
more than story,
of...
though.
Okay, but mainly what you're talking about is the allure of the game.
I'm talking about how I feel connected to the game,
Which
which
is
is
fair.
bigger than just the story.
But
right?
the reason we're connected to Galaxy has nothing really to do with the story. There's more to this argument than the fact that Twilight Princess has a beautiful narrative, which I'm not discrediting that.
We could talk about the gameplay.
Oh, we could talk about it really easily. Twilight Princess is not a Wii game. It's a GameCube game with Waggle added in afterwards. So boom, we're done. Mario Galaxy wins.
No, but also the pointing. We just established, like, it implements the pointing really well. So well, they made their own game off it later. That's a ton of fun. Shooting a bow in Twilight Princess feels better than every other Zelda game. That's including, like, Breath of the Wild, where it kind of does a pop fly thing. In Twilight Princess, it's basically a gun. You shoot it, bang, hits off instantly. You hear the clinking of the arrow bouncing off. And that's just one of the items. They also have the swinging Morning Star that you literally swing around your head to knock things over. You get the spinner, and you have to fight this boss of the spinner where you're jumping across the wall to attack this thing.
Super Paper Mario also has a lot of weapons.
It does. What I'm saying is, if we're going to talk about gameplay, we can easily talk about the sluggish parts of Twilight Princess. But when we talk about the highest moments of Twilight Princess gameplay, that stuff is so good.
Just for the record, your points for Twilight Princess apply to Super Paper Mario 2. So
are we really talking about Super Paper Mario?
I think that's been kind of like an undercard throughout this whole thing, because you're over here like Twilight Princess. I'm connected with I'm like, Super Paper Mario's got Nastasia like freaking turning Luigi. Like, I'm like, that game's kind of got the same strengths that you're putting for Twilight. I might vote for Super Paper Mario now, because apparently that's all that matters.
I will concede that Super Paper Mario's narrative is probably better than I've given it credit for in the last bracket. I think I was mostly like, there's no way this is beating New Super Mario Bros. But I want the platforming to be better. I want the puzzle solving to be better. I want the combat to be better. It's like everything about the game I want to be better. Twilight Princess, it's not like that. It's like the only moments I want to be better is I wish they executed the gameplay that connects you with the other characters better. And they didn't take this approach of slow burner to get you to really feel for stuff that works in a different medium. You throw that into a TV show. If Twilight Princess was like a 3-season TV show, the narrative would shine like crazy. They just have moments of gameplay where it's when in practice, the moments slow down. That's Twilight Princess's like only downside though. It's like, it's those sluggish moments, but it's more than the sluggish moments.
I feel like you're arguing our point for us right now though. That's the thing. Like,
what point are you making?
You're saying if it was a show, it would be good. That's what I'm getting right now. Like,
if we go on any longer, we might turn out to be as long as a 3-act TV show. So
you're welcome for setting you up for that one.
I was waiting to dive in. I don't know. Should we eulogize Paper Mario before going into our final thoughts?
Yeah, I almost forgot that this was a 3-game matchup. Honestly,
that happens.
Let's pour one out for O-Chunks. And then
O-Chunks
move
is
on.
cool. The flip side mechanic is cool.
Because I feel like I'm maybe Super Paper Mario's biggest defender here. If it was up to me, Super Paper Mario is like right up there with the other two. I think that's a great game, but I also get why it didn't win.
Why don't you vote for it?
Well, because I think Galaxy's better.
No, you should vote for Super Paper
No,
Mario.
because then Twilight Princess is gonna win, so I'm not gonna do that. I think that Super Paper Mario is a great game. For what it is, it's one of the strongest Mario RPGs in terms of story. It has really compelling characters. It does have its flaws. I'm not gonna sit here and act like it's a perfect game, and for that reason, I understand it not being the nominee to move on. But I still want to give it its flowers and say that it is, for what it's worth, a great game.
So let's go ahead and let's tell people what we thought. All right, discussion very quickly turned two ways. Yeah, Tom says, how does Galaxy not win this? Twilight Princess could have been on any console, and Paper Mario just flat out of the question. Tom compliments the scale of difficulty being well-paced in Galaxy, and that Galaxy is inviting tone-wise, while Twilight Princess is not.
Look, I really enjoyed all three of these games when I played them, but a lot of my arguments come down to things that I've already eulogized, so let me just simplify this as best I can. Twilight Princess, good game. Mario Galaxy, kind of a life-changing game for me. Its gameplay is just dazzling, and it laid the groundwork for a lot of good future platformers to, get more creative with the concepts of 3D space. Not just platformers even, there's lots of games that have been able to use anti-gravity really well in ways that I've enjoyed.
Mr. Dean says that this is a waste of time and that Galaxy is the obvious winner. Twilight isn't a magnum opus, while Galaxy could be. Galaxy takes a premise that should be horrible, but it turns it into something great.
I can definitely see the points about Twilight Princess with its narrative, but I feel like it's not fair to compare that to Galaxy and say, well, it has a better narrative than Galaxy, because that's not the appeal of Galaxy. That's not why people like it. That's not why I'm arguing for it. I'm arguing for it because of its beautiful pull of fun aesthetics, amazing orchestrated music. The levels are memorable. There's just a lot to love about it.
Pat says that Paper Mario is dead on arrival, but the discussion itself isn't dead. He defends Twilight Princess quite a lot. Says that not in its downtime, Twilight Princess has the best that Zelda has to offer.
Twilight Princess, it's just truly something special to me. I think if I were to never have Twilight Princess in this Zelda timeline, we're missing like one of the best Zeldas. And it has sluggish moments, and it's moments that I really wish was not in the game, and it gets me frustrated. Beyond those moments, though, it is equally weighed with super high moments of the game. I love all the dungeons in Twilight Princess except maybe the first. I love all the items. I love the extracurricular activities that you do, like chasing down a burning carriage and things like that. I just can't help but feel that I'm more connected to the highs of Twilight Princess.
Andrew, while soft-spoken this episode, was trying to go to bat for Twilight Princess, but he sounded defeated because Galaxy was just liked by everybody else.
I've already said I'm going with Twilight Princess, even though I know it's not going to win. Galaxy should be for me, but it's just not for some reason. Super Paper Mario, I mean, I like that game. I think I voted for it before, but you know, it's not really anything compared to these.
This is a gameplay debate, and while Twilight Princess has the points in story, every argument gameplay-wise went into Galaxy's favor.
I'm just gonna say Galaxy has to take this. Twilight Princess launched the Wii, gave us great new characters, and gave everybody the super dark take on Zelda that they wanted, but I think as time has gone by, I think people's eyes were bigger than their stomach when it came to the dark, realistic Zelda. We got it. I just don't think it's aged as well as having a Mario game with this much vigor and innovation and life and just energy to it. I am all in on the vibes of Mario Galaxy. Let's blast this off to the next round.
It might sound like I hate Super Mario Galaxy. I really don't. I think it's a great game. I put it on the same level as both Sunshine and Mario 64. I think they're all three good at their own things and have their own little unique struggles, right? And when I say I've never beaten it, it's because I've never felt connected enough to the game in order to beat it. And I just generally prefer more open worlds, not necessarily open worlds, but worlds that are worth exploring, similar to other Mario games, right?
The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess is an important game. It kind of signaled Nintendo's willingness to shift back to the mature atmosphere of the N64 games and beyond, with Wind Waker coming in and kind of like, you know, being controversial at the time. Now it's an adored game. At the time, it was a very different story. So I respect Twilight Princess's role in the Legend of Zelda series. However, whenever we're talking about the best Wii game, out of these three games, I think it's Super Mario Galaxy. I don't know why I made that so intense.
All three of these games, there's only one where you can pick up and hold a cat, and that's Twilight Princess.
All right, everyone, we're coming back to it, and we're going to end off this episode with a dramatic vote reveal. We're gonna start with Tom Peeler.
Oh boy. Well, let me just set the precedent in the stars. Mario Galaxy has to go to number one. It was the first shot in the arm that the Wii got that said, hey, take me seriously as a console. I think we need to take it seriously as a contender.
Oh, beautifully said. Oh, wow.
Mr. Dean, how about you?
You know, I'm walking up to the launch star right now. So I'm going to use my star bits to feed the hungry Luma right next to it. Send me to Super Mario Galaxy. I want that to win.
Shrimper Lake, Andrew, let's hear from you. Where's your vote?
This may come as a surprise to everyone, but I am voting Twilight Princess. That wasn't a surprise.
What?
I thought there was a chance.
Nastasia got to him.
Will Pat send it to a tiebreaker?
By actually a hair. It is an internal struggle for me. A war between mind and heart, as Bracket Breakdown always is. I'm going with my heart. I gotta vote Twilight Princess.
In a 2-2 tie. No one here willing to debate, flip over, switch. We're deadlocked. I had to really dissect what everyone was talking about here. And there was a lot of confidence going in on the Galaxy side of things.
Oh no.
A real highlight of mine was that Galaxy takes a premise that should be horrible and turns it into something great. And every argument about which is the better game, not visual novel, just came down to Galaxy. So I'm gonna have to break it in favor of Mario Galaxy.
You have chosen wisely.
I can't be too upset. Galaxy is genuinely incredible. I think I just really wanted to give Twilight Princess the proper shake.
Well, shook it did. There we have it, everybody. In the meantime, we have plenty of other debates to check out, lots of stuff to catch up on if you do feel so inclined. Much more coming up ahead. Can't wait to see you guys there. Can't wait for you to hear what we have to say. All right, on behalf of everyone in this recording, goodbye.